Can you tell me your name, your club and your position, please?
So my name is Thomas Creed. I'm a goalkeeper playing for Bradford Town.
And can you tell me a little bit about your footballing journey up to this point?
Yeah, so I've always played football from a young age. Played both in goal and outfield. And when I turned around 16, I had to make a choice to stay in goal. And yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get rid of it since.
And, it's commonly regarded as the loneliest place on a football pitch. How do you deal with the pressures that brings on a match day?
Yeah, certainly on a match day, I'd say I thrive from some of those pressures. It's certainly a lonely place when I always see it as it's like being in the bomb squad in an army. If you mess up, everyone's complaining. But that comes with the nature of the position.
And with supporters, sometimes a goalkeeper can get the brunt of the abuse. How do you cope with that?
Yeah, it's difficult. I'm someone that takes a lot of things to like personally. So yeah, some games when you have a lot of fans behind the goal giving you lots of rubbish, it's sometimes hard to take and it can sometimes throw you off your game.
How would you explain your relationship with mental health?
So I'm someone that's struggled a bit for mental health. I've I've struggled a bit with anxiety. So yeah, as I was growing up playing football, when I joined my first men's team, I struggled a bit, especially being that 16-year-old playing with 25 plus years blokes and mature blokes. And yeah, it's a kind of bravado thing that I had to try and cope with. And to start with, I didn't. There was some games that I'd physically throw up before games, and yeah, it's difficult. But I've learnt to cope with my anxiety, and yeah, I think it's not of something of to be solved. It's something that I've put things in place to try and cope with that anxiety.
You mentioned an important word there in coping. I think that's true for many things. What have you put in place that helps you manage that?
So, like I said, I had people that I went and saw. So I went through the NHS and did counselling. And to start with, I really struggled with it. It was difficult to connect with someone that I didn't think that I could talk to about it. I then went on to further stages with it, and I spoke to different people, and I found someone that I really could cope with it and bond over that I was struggling with it. So yeah, they really helped me kind of push through it and put things in place that I used to try and get over my anxiety.
Were there any sort of key hurdles or milestones you can look back on that you can say that speaking with someone that's a professional in that space has helped you then overcome and achieve?
I think the biggest thing was probably acceptance, that like accepting that I had anxiety, um, because before I kind of just pushed it aside and was like, no, I'm quite an outgoing person, confident, and people probably see that from the outside and don't think that there's any issues there. So yeah, probably accepting it was my biggest thing because it made me realise that I've got it and it's not an issue. It's just something that I've got to try and deal with and still deal with today.
Do you find having a good network around you helps?
Yeah, definitely. Like you're never alone. People are never alone. There's people in and around you that you can always talk to. And for me, I was super lucky that I had close family, and like I say, that the clubs that I've been out of have been always so supportive about that. So yeah,
What would you say is the most important message that you could put out there?
I think it's just you've got to talk. Just get out there and talk. It's so hard to start with. Um, like I say, it took me a long time. Only took me until a few years ago when I was 18, 19, to start talking about it. Like I said, I've been struggling with it for a few years. So yeah, it was the biggest weight off my shoulders when I started talking about it. So yeah, if you can get out there and talk about it, because yeah, you're not alone. There's loads of people that struggle with it and will continue to struggle with it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Creedy.
No worries.